Okay, it doesn't obviously it's very technical because it doesn't affect your understanding whether you know that qawmi is raf, nasb or jar, but just technically correct, it's actually nasb. But what you must know is that the it doesn't make the word jar. The there is to indicate the which is hidden. You want to know the there is to create the which is hidden. And actually, ya qawmi, is the people of me. When it comes ya qawmi. So that's like the importance of the Nahwu to understand it. Okay. Next one is Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dukhulu fi silmi kafa. Or you believe enter into silm, into submission, kafa, peace or Islam completely. Sometimes you have ya and you have ya ayyuhalladhina. Okay. It's a difficult one, but let's first discuss the difference. Ya means O, and ya ayyuha also means O. If I say Ya Muhammad, it means O Muhammad. If I say Ya ayyuha Muhammad or Ya ayyuha Muhammad, it also means O Muhammad. Ya ayyuha is considered to be a more formal address. More formal. Whereas Ya is considered to be a more close address. So you won't normally call your son Ya ayyuha al-walad. It's too formal for your son. You say Ya walad or Ya binati or something. It's too formal for that. So Ya ayyuha is a much more formal address. It becomes formal because of respect or formal because of distance. Allah says a very famous verse, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Because ya kafirun like too close. Oh, disbelievers. Ya ayyuhal kafirun is like a very formal. There's distance in it, there's formality in it. Oh, disbelievers. Okay, that's the first thing. So it means the same thing, but there's a different connotation. Second thing is that the word after ayyuha will always be in raf'an. I'm not going to go into the Nahwu why, but the word after ayyuha will always be in raf'an. So therefore, you can just remember the rule in your mind. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun kafirin. It's always in raf'an. So I'm not going to get into Nahwu. That's so you can see example one, the last one there. Ya ayyuha rasul lo. Because the word after ayyuha is always has a dhamma or is in rafa. Okay. Look at number. Okay, the next one is Ya Maryamu. You can see Ya Maryamu, single word, dhamma. Look at the next one. Ya Ahlal Kitabi. Why is it Ahlal Ahlu? It's mudaf and mudafun. Okay. So I'll leave the rest, I'll leave all this to translate. Simple lesson. Just Ya means O. If there's no mudaf, in a single word, you put it U. Ya Rasulu, Ya Waladu, and so on. If there's a mudaf, you put an Ya Ahl al-Kitab, Ya Rasulullah. And I just highlighted here that it's one mudaf, you can't see mudaf, you can't see the E one. You can't see the sign of the hal. And the last thing is that after ayyuha is always rafa. So you say Ya ayyuhal muslimun, Ya ayyuhal muslimin. Ya ayyuhal muslimun. No. Okay, so that is and the thing is called Ismul Munada. So if I say Ya Rasulullah, I'll say the word Rasul is nasbun because it's Ismul Munada. It's the ism that comes after the Ya. Ismul Munada. And the last thing to mention, often in the Quran, the harfun nida is omitted, especially with the Rabb. Rabbi, Rabba, Rabbana, it can be omitted as well. Yeah. Sometimes also when something is omitted, it also implies greater desperation. It implies greater desperation. It's almost like when you're in an emergency, you generally tend to use the shortest phrase. You won't say like, oh people out there, can you help me? You'll just say help. Or you say people, you know what I mean? You'll shout out you people. So generally out there, yeah, one of the connotations linguistically is that it actually can convey more desperation in the address. Okay. That's one of the words in Nas. Before I answer Rahman, I just speak a few minutes just about in al-Awwal, and I think it's good for us just to give some orientation. I don't know if people are having debates on Mawlud. Are we still there, or are we finished with that now? I don't talk to people, so I don't know. I just come to teach you guys. I spend time with my family, so I don't know to speak to people. But I'm still having debates. Still debates, okay? So, inshallah, one day we'll grow up and start debating. But for now, just to how to navigate this debate. Let's first talk about what is agreed upon by all scholars across the entire Ummah from the time of Rasulullah until now. First of all, there's a difference between love and following. The difference between love, loving someone, and following someone. And I think it's important for all of us to understand the distinction. You may be at the school and have a principal who has rules, and you may perfectly follow all the principal's rules of dress and obedience and everything, but you may not love the principal. You may dislike the principal, you may be indifferent to the principal. So what is compulsory upon every believer is to both love the Prophet ﷺ and follow the Prophet ﷺ. It's two separate duties. You know? Because not for nothing the Prophet will use the word love. And there are many verses and many hadith. One hadith suffices. The Prophet says, "La yu'minu ahadukum," that none of you has true faith, true iman, hatta akuna, until I, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, become ahabba. And the word from that hub, I become more beloved to him, min walidihi wa walidihi wa nasi ajma'in, than his parents and his children and all of mankind. Okay, there's many hadith to this point. The point I want to make is that love is separate from obedience, a separate discussion altogether. That's the first thing. A second thing is that love is something which, especially if the love is for someone that you're not exposed to, because we don't have the honor of meeting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We only hear about him. He doesn't live with us. So love is something which has to be nurtured within ourselves and within our children, within our communities. Love is something that has to be nurtured, and it's nurtured obviously through sending salutations. It's nurtured through learning about the person. It's nurtured through various displays of love. So that's the second thing. The third thing is that there are things that people agree about. Like, for example, it's compulsory to send salutation to the Prophet. It's compulsory to love him. It's compulsory to send salutation to him. It's compulsory to follow him. For example, in every salah we send salawat to him. It's part of our salah. It's fard in our salah. Allah commands the believers that you sallu ala, so Imam salawat upon him. It's compulsory. So it's compulsory to love him, to follow him. It's compulsory to be happy that Allah has sent him. It's compulsory to be happy that Allah has sent Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can't be indifferent towards it. You must be happy at something which is compulsory upon us to be happy about it. And the elements of gathering in the masjid, everybody agrees upon this. That believers gather in the masjid. The element of salawat, everybody agrees upon. The element of dua, everybody agrees upon. The element of dhikr, everybody agrees upon. The element of learning about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everybody agrees upon. So all the elements we're discussing, everybody agrees upon. The only thing that there's maybe difference in the community about is the mode. Like the when and the format, and you don't understand the mode of doing these things. And I'm sure even for those who celebrate Mawlid, I'm sure you go around the world, and you go to Morocco, and you go to India, and you go to Pakistan, and you go to London, and you go to different places in the world. They'll have different modes of even celebrating Mawlid as well. They have different formats, different dress, different program, evening events, or whatever the case is, different modes of doing it. So there is some difference with regard to the modes. So there is a camp, obviously, which is the kind of the majority camp, and in the Shafi'i madhab, you're hardly going to find anybody who disagrees that it is approved to gather in this month of Rabiul Awwal, as it's approved to gather on any other month or any other day. It's approved to gather in a masjid and sing salutations and to learn about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's an approved practice because everything in it is fine. And if something in it is wrong, then something must be taken out. You with me? And there's another camp that says that the Sahaba didn't gather, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't gather, they didn't have a gathering on his birthday, so we shouldn't do it, and that's a different view as well. So I'm saying both these views exist. the one that says it should be it can be celebrated, or it's something which is good, is the majority view according to the number of scholars and the madhahib and so on. And the view that says it shouldn't be celebrated is the minority of scholars according to the madhahib and the number of scholars. But both of them produce evidence. You know, both of them are evidence-based positions. Same with standing in salawat and not standing in salawat. Both of them are evidence-based positions. So our approach with these matters and all matters like these is, as soon as you have multiple positions that have evidence, especially yourselves as non-scholars, and especially those who have studied as well, is that we respect those views because they are evidence-based. Even though I may not agree with the view, I can understand how they can come to the conclusion, even though I have a different understanding. So my advice to you is that, number one is, don't get involved in debates, because the debate itself is against the Sunnah. The debate itself, the Prophet's Sunnah was not a debate. You would engage, we won't get into arguments. You'd engage, you deliver the message which is the truth, and then you say, Lakum dinakum waliya din. I give him the message and finish. The Prophet's Sunnah was not to debate. And there are many ahadith against debating and arguing. So that's the first thing, especially if you're non-scholar. What business do you have arguing about technical stuff you have no knowledge of? You don't have any idea of hadith or usul fiqh or fiqh, and I ask you to give me the madhahib and the scholars. You can't do any of those things. You just have a kind of superficial rational argument, that's all you have, which is not actually deen. That is just someone's own feelings and opinions, which doesn't count for anything in the bigger picture. So our advice is always that you, number one is you avoid any debates. Number two is to respect people with different positions. You may come from a certain culture, a certain family, which you have on one side or the other side. You respect their positions. And the third thing is, I think is probably the most important thing, is don't attach a value judgment to someone's position. What does that mean? Just because someone doesn't want to celebrate Mawlid, doesn't want to stand for salawat, don't now say, oh, they don't love the Prophet properly, or they don't really love him, or we love him more. You know, you don't know someone else's heart. So don't attach a value position, and then do whatever you feel is inclined to, because whether you do it or whether you don't do it, it's all acceptable in the eyes of Allah. It's not like halal and haram you're busy with. You're going to be discussing how to love Rasulullah, how to celebrate, how to praise him. These are just matters of modes. So that's basically our position. And we need to move beyond these issues. And I'm saying we're still doing this. I mean, there are many more serious issues to be discussing within our community. Are we all good? Okay. And then you're free. I mean, when you're free, I'm not stressed about it. I'm stressed about it. I mean, and I want to, maybe we don't have time for one day we'll teach usul fiqh, but I mean, one of the foundations of legal theory is that what the Prophet didn't do is not necessarily evidence. And I think that kind of shift for a student is hard to make. It's not an argument to say the Prophet didn't do this, because that line of evidence is going to extend too far. You with me? So we look at what the Prophet told us to do and what he did, and that's what we do. But if he didn't do something, for example, the Prophet didn't maybe read Surah Yusuf every morning, or maybe Surah Rahman, or mashallah, you learn Surah Rahman. Now you know Surah Rahman. Now every morning you wake up, you read Surah Rahman, because you know it. Can I tell you, how can you do that? Where's the hadith of the Prophet doing Surah Rahman? If you read every morning, your children are going to think it's sunnah to read Surah Rahman, you must stop doing it every morning. Can you see the problem with that? Because it's not an evidence-based thing to say the Prophet didn't do it. What we say is, what did he do? He told us to read Quran, he told us to read Quran. There's many, and then so people don't often understand legal theory, so they come with a pseudo argument, yeah, but the Prophet didn't do this. Nor did they have a Mizan class, nor did they meet every Sunday morning study Quran. There's many things the Prophet didn't do. Nor did they have an English talk before Jummah. Or another. Even when Islam went to other countries, did they ever talk in another language? You understand? So, anyway, the point I want to make is just, it's like tiring after a while. Okay? If you've been here for a while in the game, you get so tired of the same as if people tell you the argument as if you've never heard it before. But only like 1,000 times before. And we know the responses as well. So, like it's time to move on now with regard to these things. And focus on what's important. And what's important is calling people towards Allah. What's important is serving mankind. And solving problems and helping people. This is the sunnah. Not trying to argue who's right and wrong. That's not the sunnah, that's nafs. That's nafs that's just closed in academic argument. It's actually a nafs that I want to prove myself right. And we as a community, we have a history of this. I don't know why. Alhamdulillah, we're actually quite united compared to the rest of the world. If you go to the UK and you go to America, they have different mosques with different communities. Somalis have their mosque, and Bengals have their mosque. They're like very, very. We, alhamdulillah, and if you compare us to Joburg and Durban, we're much more unified. They have like different camps there, and they don't go to each other's mosque, and they even have like physical fights, and they're on another level. So we mustn't import other people's conflict to us. We should export our unity to other people. Because alhamdulillah, I think we have a mature community with regard to embracing multiple views, and we're just also like an easy people. Bismillah, like, just like Khatat man, or you're Maulid man, or you're Hajat, or you're Tabligh. It's all, it's all like goeie week. That's our attitude. Goeie week, Bismillah. That's a good attitude to have, because how can the people who are doing good start arguing amongst themselves? It's like the craziest thing to do. You should encourage good. Ta'awanu bil birri wat taqwa. This is the sunnah. Anyway, it's a long discussion. But I just wanted to mention, I think it's important just to give our students positions on regard to these things. And even sometimes the people who are in the one camp say, you must stand, you must have more. Those are not evidence-based positions. We have to be, and I think that's what Malta basically important to all of us as students, myself, Muhammad, Zakaria, Mali Azid, Abdullah, all of us are from the same teacher, is that positions have evidence. Know what the evidence is, and if people are on one evidence, not the other evidence, and alhamdulillah, they're not evidence, and you're not, what I mean? Don't get stuck in this micro-arguments, the secondary arguments. Allah knows best. No. Alhamdulillah.